Hi, this is Jerrie Dean from Missing Persons of America. I've got a story for you today that has to do with three young girls that went missing back in 1974 from Fort Worth, Texas. Be coming up next. Rachel Arnold Trlica, 17, Lisa Renee Wilson, 14, and Julie Ann Mosely, 9. They've been missing since December 23rd, 1974. They were last seen at the Seminary South Shopping Center in Fort Worth, Texas. They were to be home around 4 p.m., but they never came back.
Christmas doesn't shine as bright.
It's a sad time for me.
For Terry Mosely.
I still like Christmas, but really, if it just went past and I didn't have to deal with it, I'd be fine.
Because of what he and three families have endured for 43 years.
You can't have the same Christmas everybody else does, because everybody else doesn't have family members that are missing right at Christmas.
Mosely was 15 when his 9-year-old sister Julie, his 14-year-old girlfriend Renee Wilson, and her 17-year-old friend Rachel Arnold Trlica vanished in 1974. The trio had been shopping for Christmas gifts at what was the Seminary South Shopping Center in Fort Worth.
The whole thing started when Rachel and Lisa, who had been friends for years, decided they were going to go shopping. And Julie was also a friend. She wanted to go with them. She was only 9 years old, and her mother was at work, and she called her and she pleaded and wanted to go, and her mother did let her go. She knew Rachel and she let her go. And then Lisa asked her boyfriend Terry, who was Julie's older brother, if he wanted to go to the shopping mall with them. But he said he was already supposed to go visit his friend at the hospital, and he didn't want to disappoint him, so he couldn't go. So it was just those three girls that went, and they left around noon. And they were going to go shopping. They were going to stop at the Army-Navy store in Fort Worth and then go to the Seminary South. And it's now called the Fort Worth Town Center. And I went over to the Fort Worth Town Center and I did some video over there. And I wanted to see where the Sears would have been, where the parking lot was at and all that. So I've got some video of that I'll be showing you in this video. So I know that they parked their Olds 98 near the Sears, and it was up at the upper lot. Now they know this because of a letter they received later. But as we went into the shopping mall, we weren't quite sure where the Sears was. So we traveled around and we saw where there was a area that had doctor's offices in the back. And we thought maybe they were in a parking lot, one on top of the other parking lot, many stories parking lot. And we thought maybe they might have parked in there. But then as we came back around to the back, and then around to the side and back to the front again, we started trying to figure out which one of these stores would have been a Sears. And we realized that the Sears was actually at the main entrance there. That probably was the Sears. And as we kept going past there, and I looked up to my left, and I saw this upper parking area. So as you're there, you just see a wall, but as you drive around it, you realize that's an upper parking area. And that must be where the Sears was, and that must have been where the Olds 98 was parked, was that upper parking area. And now I know what they meant by that. So as you see the video, at the very beginning, as we take off and we veer to the right and go up a little bit, that's where the Sears was, and that's where the upper parking lot was. We're going to head over to see if the Sears is here, and then the upper parking lot. Looking for a tall building. I think that over there looks taller, but
We're going around this way.
you're going to go that way? Okay. I don't know where it would be.
Never
house is right here on the outside. Okay, Corral. Yeah, you can go that. I don't know where. I don't know any more than you do where everything is. There's an entrance there. Grand Plaza. Looks like they're the doctor. Okay, so this was added on?
Must have been, honey.
Because it looks like it's some kind of a doctor thing now.
Yeah.
Guess we'll get around almost. We're like halfway around now. Around the other side, there's a Fiesta Market across the street. Crazy looking. And some little shopping. Faceta. So this may have been added on later. I don't know. But I think we're getting around the other side here pretty soon. Oh, yeah, there's another one. Nothing there. Alright, come on. Let's see. Grand Plaza 3. I don't see anything where it says Sears. I don't even know the Sears is here anymore.
Yeah, they probably closed that out since they all went bankrupt.
Well, I'm trying to think of where that upper parking lot is, and then
I'm betting it was at
You
Dodgers.
think it was at Doctor's and they
Yeah.
closed it up?
Yep.
Because that's where the car was supposed to have been left, was at that upper parking lot. Interesting. And here we are, Ross Dress for Less. So Jan's my La Grand Plaza, you can actually walk in on that side too. So it looks like it's just a whole indoor parking area. That Ross, I wonder if that used to be the Sears years ago.
Probably the Skechers, where Skechers is.
Or maybe it's up here, okay. And almost to the front again. I think this is the front over here on this side, where the flags are. So, area to walk down. I don't know what's down there. just oh, I see, the road just kind of goes down. What if that's the Sears right over there?
That's where we came from, Jerry.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that Burlington actually used to be the Sears. So here is up there, building something there. New retail opportunity. Down that way. Okay. We come back around this way. Yeah, it might have been that Skechers, might have been the Burlington was the Sears. I'm sure somebody there knows which one used to be the Sears. Rainbow, you stop there. Los Pitos Sapros Cons Home Plus, and that is it. East 2C. That's it. This is all a different color here, probably, than what it originally was. This might have been the Sears.
No, I doubt it.
You think it was that one over there? Whoa. They got really big bumps. Oh, what's inside there? Is that just like the... You know, I wonder if the Sears store was actually inside. And...
No, because Sears always had a where you could go pick stuff up, so it's not.
Oh, that's a good point. Appliances, electronics. Oh, that might have been the Sears. You talk about picking stuff up. Look at that right there.
Yeah.
Gotta catch a Duck 7, no parking. Home Plus. Yeah, I'm starting to think that might have been the Sears right there. What do you think?
Yeah.
And maybe upper parking was right there?
That's why I'm thinking it was over there. Or they took the office at Dodgers and then built it into went from a parking garage to help me.
To the, like, emergency rooms or that
Doctor's
kind of stuff.
office.
Yeah, I wonder if that was it back there.
All right, that was
All right,
tour.
that was all the way around, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
So let me go on from that. Eventually they made it to that Sears parking lot, and they know they did because there was purchases in the back. Now, there was a Christmas gift in the back. I know from the reading what the parents said, there was one Christmas package in the back seat. And when they realized that they had not come home at 4 o'clock and they went to look for them, it was at 6 p.m. that day they found the car. Now, the police were able to find several witnesses' accounts about what happened. One was a store clerk, and she said she saw some men rushing the girls into a pickup truck. And then another person said that it seen a man force a girl into a van. And when he asked what the heck was going on, the man said it was none of his business. It was a family dispute and leave him alone. And then there was another witness who said that the girls had been spotted in a security patrol car. More about that in a second. So the next morning, Rachel's husband, Tommy, he got a letter from Rachel. It was postmarked December 24th. Now think about it. 23rd they went missing, and this letter was in the mailbox on the 24th. So what was interesting about the envelope, it says Thomas instead of Tommy, and Rachel always called him Tommy. And there was other little things about the letter, like the handwriting, the postal service number. It was the 3, and it seemed to be backwards, or it was an incomplete 8. Maybe it was a 38. They're not sure. To this day, they're not sure. And also, it looked as though the I in Rachel's name had been written low and then made taller, and they're not quite sure what was going on there, but they have never come to a conclusion about that. But anyway, the letter, it said, quote, "I know I'm going to catch it, but we just had to get away. We're going to Houston. See you in about a week. The car is in Sears upper lot. Love, Rachel." That's it, close quote. Now, the family believes that the writing doesn't belong to Rachel, and authorities have not been able to determine who wrote it. They don't know. So what I'm thinking about that letter is it's came so quickly that if somebody was going to pull a prank, they really had to be really quick to pull a prank like that, to be able to take and write a letter and put an envelope and mail it just to be mean to the family. They would have to done that right away. And I don't know if they could have done that right away. So they would have to really quickly put this letter into the mailbox and mail it, come up with the idea and mail it just to do a hoax. And I don't know if somebody would have done that so quickly. I'm wondering about that. The police have also thought that maybe she had been forced to write the letter, and that could be a possibility, but I don't know if it was really necessary, because police had already in the beginning was thinking that they were runaways. So why would they need a letter to confirm that they were runaways? I don't know. It's just a really strange element in this story that doesn't seem to connect anyway.
Though everybody in the beginning, they ran away. And I said, they didn't run away. They wanted me to go.
Now, that other witness I was telling you about with the security truck, his name was Bill Hitchens. And he came forward right after they went missing. When he heard that they went missing, he called the police. He said he'd seen something and he wanted to report it. He said there was around 11:30 p.m. he had a run-in on the parking lot with a young guy, security guard, who was driving a pickup truck. Now, 11:30. He says, "I saw 3 girls sitting in the front seat with him, a young girl next to him, a little older to her, and then the older and largest girl against the passenger door," Hutchins said. Now, he said he thought they were there willingly. He said when he got mad at the other guy and yelled at him and cussed at him, and then he yelled over and he said he apologized for his language, and he saw everybody laughed, and everybody was happy in there, and they exchanged a few comments, and the guy just rolled his window up and drove off. And when he found out that the girls were missing, he called the police and reported what happened. He said he talked to the secretary, gave his name and everything like that, told her everything that would happen, and he hung up the phone and he waited for a call back, and he never heard back. And a couple days went by, and then years, and here we are all this time later, and it wasn't until 2001 till the authorities called him and asked him about the statement that he gave all those years ago. He told KXAX News that no one ever bothered to talk to me until now. But the authorities said that they had found that security guard, and the man denied that the girls were even in the truck on that evening of December 23rd, 1974. So the detectives added that after they reopened this case in 2001 and they did all this investigating, that they considered what he saw a good solid lead, but they were focusing on not just that lead, but on several other ones that they had found out too. So 2001, that was that. And then in 2018, North Texas Marine Salvage and Recovery started recovery for 2 cars in Pembroke Lake in September 2018. Now, the family went over there and waited as they lifted a car out of there. And they're worried that they're going to find bodies in this car. They didn't know what to expect. There was a crowd there when this happened. And the first car came up easy. And it was taken to the forensic researchers that were looking for clues, but they realized right off that this car was a 1976 Lincoln Continental, and the girls disappeared in 74, so it couldn't be the car. And they ran the VIN number too, and it cleared it, and it was not tied to the case. And then the second car was really stuck in the mud, and they weren't able to get it up. And the team said, well, we'll return later, which they did. And it was about a few weeks later, they returned, and they finally got that car up. And there was nothing found in that car either. Now, there is one more car that's supposed to come up, but as of this writing, there has been no one's attempted to get it up. According to the Star Telegram, that's been it. There's been nothing done with that. Now, you're probably wondering about the DNA. Now, back then, there was no DNA testing available, but in 2001, they started utilizing the DNA testing. And they have some DNA results, the authorities, but they're not saying what they are. They're not releasing it to the public or the media. And their statement regarding this whole case is that they now believe the girls left the mall with somebody else that they trusted and were harmed afterwards. Maybe they were intentionally going to be gone for a week and come back, and they never came back. Now, the letter, they did test that letter, and they found that it didn't match the girls or anybody else that they had in the database. So maybe something will come up in the future, but for now, there is nothing. So if I was going to make a guess on what likely happened, I have to agree with Hutchins' story. I think that was probably the most viable story. I do believe what he said. I do believe he saw these girls in the truck. And I believe that it likely had something to do with the security guard. I do think they were in the truck. Whether it had anything to do with something happening to those girls, I don't know. But I do believe Hutchins' story. I do believe they were probably in the truck. They were probably having a good time. They probably ran into the guy and started talking to him. And he said, I'll give you a ride around the shopping mall. And they decided to do that. And everything seemed safe. They were with a security guard. Why would it be safe? And something happened afterwards. Either something happened when they got out of the truck, or something happened. Maybe they got in an argument and they tried to make their way back to the car on their own and something happened. Maybe they did travel with this guy to Houston and they were separated and something happened to them. I don't know. There's a lot there. I don't know. You can think about it for hours. So hopefully something will come out on this case. Maybe something will pop up on that DNA database that will come up with a match, and we'll have some answers to this case.
This whole city changed the day those girls disappeared. At 11, I couldn't do nothing but think about it and, wish my sister was back home. We were this tight,
And that's it for today. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye-bye.